أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum and welcome to ITVusa's Ramadan series Raising Our Children Right. My name is Dr. Suzy Ismail from Cornerstone and I'm happy to be with you here again as we continue to explore the first stage of tarbiyah. In these first 10 nights of Ramadan, we're going to continue to look at the first stage of tarbiyah, which is the stage of security, the stage of stability, and which generally ranges from the ages of 0 to 7. In this first stage of tarbiyah, we've talked about the connection that parents often have with their children, and we've talked about the importance of understanding and recognizing how tarbiyah begins even before conception. Now today we're going to explore what actually happens in the womb. So first of all, understanding that the womb, in terms of Arabic terminology, in terms of the Quranic reference to the womb, we know that the womb is the rahim, right? And the rahim, when you look at the term rahim, the root word of it, the etymology of the word, exists in a very similar way, or the base of it is very similar to, of course, the word rahmah. And of course, we know that the word rahmah is mercy. We know that Allah Azza wa Jal reserves as part of His 99 names, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, two names that are linked to that same root word of rahim, which is the word for womb. So the first step that we see in terms of the journey of tarbiyah, of raising our children, post-conception, when the fetus has formed in the womb, we see this understanding that the womb is a place of mercy. It is the rahim, the place in which the child yatakawwin, where the child is formed, and where in this state in the womb, in this place of safety, in this place of mercy, the child has all of his or her biological needs, physiological needs taken care of. We know that the umbilical cord is the connection to the mother, the place in which the child is receiving nourishment, receiving that which is needed in order for the child to grow from a physical standpoint. We also know in the womb, studies have shown that children actually, or the fetus actually hears voices. And the first voice that the fetus is able to connect to and able to recognize is the voice of the mother. So subhanAllah, in this womb, in this state, we know that as the fetus is formed, and as we look to the bringing of the ruh, when Allah Azza wa Jal implants the ruh, or the soul, within the child, it is at the 120-day mark. And at that point, the child now begins to form in terms of what is this child's journey going to look like? What is written for this child? And what is happening, not just in the womb, but also what will happen, inshallah, outside of the womb. Now, within this period of gestation, as the child is growing in the womb, we know that there can be a great deal of stress on the mother. There can be a great deal of stress on both parents. If this is a time in the parent's life where there is a great deal of psychological and emotional stress, it will impact the fetus in the womb, right? If this is a time where there is a lot of negative energy surrounding the parent, if the mother is struggling maybe in different ways, it will impact the child. We also know that the ingesting of anything during this time will impact the child. So if substances are ingested, if elements that are unhealthy for the child are ingested, this is a period of time that's very critical as the child is in the womb. And subhanAllah, as we journey through these days of Ramadan and we recognize that the first 10 days of Ramadan are days of mercy, and we recognize that the period of gestation, the 9 months of carrying the child in the womb, are also a period of mercy, we begin to see that even in our journey in Ramadan, we are almost to a certain extent replicating the journey of our own growth, the journey of our children's growth, that here within the gestational period, within the 9 months of the parents almost getting used to the idea that they will have a child, the mother adapting and recognizing that selflessness that is needed for the child, the understanding that the pain that the mother goes through in labor is a pain that in any other circumstances would be considered unbearable, and yet Allah Azza wa Jal grants the mother the fortitude and the ability and the strength to be able to go through this difficulty. And of course, we can't ever forget the beautiful verses in the Quran when Maryam alayhi salam is giving birth to Isa alayhi salam, and she feels those labor pains, and she calls out in that moment, Ya laytani mitt qabla hada wa kuntu nasyan mansiya. Oh, if only I had passed before this and had been of those who were forgotten. So this is the difficulty of the physical pain of labor, but we also know that there can be emotional strife as well, and emotional difficulty as well. And in tomorrow's episode, inshallah, we'll talk a little bit more about that emotional journey, not just, the postpartum emotions, but emotions that can continue in terms of who we are as parents and how we raise our children during this critical first stage of tarbiyah, age 0 to 7. So I pray that all of us are reaping the benefits of Ramadan. I pray that all of us are able to raise the most righteous of children. And I pray that you will join me tomorrow, inshallah, as we continue this journey. Assalamu alaikum.